The body to this 53 MG TD has been media blasted with a plastic media. Really good on the sheet metal. As far as any sort of abrasive blasting, it's the way to go by far. And after it got blasted to bare metal, put some epoxy primer on it, which is always our best foundation to do body work, primer, even paint. We use it to seal paint after it's been primed. So it's really versatile product, and it's always the first step after getting it to bare metal to keep any sort of contaminants from handling it or moisture, atmosphere getting on it. And you know, like I said earlier, it's been a really good project to start with on a restoration. None of this has any body work done to it. Now the body has a few little nicks and waves here where somebody's leaded, looks like they might have had an antenna on it, leaded the holes up. We'll get that lead out of there and do all metal. I'd try to remove all the lead that wasn't factory. The metalwork's in really good shape. I mean, we've got some little spots on the fenders here where it's been crumpled in, but we'll handle that with a hammer and dolly. And I'll have one of our newer employees, Richard Martyr, helping me on this. He's really picked up metal work, and he's quite a craftsman. So it's time to teach him metal repair rather than just metal bending and cutting, and really have good expectations with him. So hopefully we'll have Richard in on a later video to give a little bit of commentary. There were some repairs that were done to the car, and we're kind of surprised to see those. We thought it had just been painted, but there was actually some body filler in it. Sections of fenders like this where it's ripply, kind of roughed in, but this isn't good enough for us. We need to smooth it out. We'll use a planishing hammer and get this to a virtually primer ready condition. We're going to use as little body filler as possible. All the sheet metal's here inside of the cab here, so we'll just start taking pieces out. Here's a good example. A little piece here that's been beat up. It's got a crack here. This goes underneath the radiator, and like those other pieces, we'll just fix as much of this as we can with a hammer and dolly and weld it. People call it hammer welding. That's actually a blacksmith term where you take two separate pieces of metal and melt them and hammer them together. What we'll be doing is oxygen, acetylene fuel, torch welding, and then use a hammer and dolly to work the shrunken area caused by the torch. And that's where it gets the term hammer welding, but it's actually a different process. So we'll be doing this body work in our shop down the street that's being renovated, and you know, that's next time you'll see us. We'll be doing body work and primer and paint on this, and it's going to come together really quick. It's a smaller car, and those tend to go quite a bit faster. But when they're in this good a condition, then things go really fast.